Observe these two statements. What do they indicate? Both these statements are indicating the hot weather condition on a particular day. However, there is some difference between them. Can you make out the difference? The first statement is very general, whereas the second statement gives us the exact information about the temperature outside. And that in turn tells us exactly how hot it's outside. Let me ask you a question. How do we come to know if anything is hot or cold? It's simple. We can feel the heat through our sense of touch. We come across many objects in our daily life. Some feel hot, while others might not feel so. Say for example, there's a cooking pan in front of you. Can you find out if it's hot or not just by looking at it? Obviously not. We will have to find out by touching it. But wait, can we measure the heat with our sense of touch? Not really. We cannot measure the heat with our sense of touch. We can only feel it. Then how do we measure heat? What is the unit of measurement for heat? Let's discuss all these questions in detail. There are many cases when we need to measure heat accurately. So we need to know what the reliable measure of heat is. The reliable measure of heat is its temperature. This means we need to know the temperature of an object to measure its heat. Now the next question is, how do we measure temperature? It's measured by a device called thermometer. Let's discuss the cases where we can use a thermometer to measure the temperature. I'm sure you've seen this device before. It's a clinical thermometer. Yes, you would have seen thermometers like these. These are clinical thermometers. Can you tell me what the use of a clinical thermometer is? It's designed to measure the temperature of the human body. That's right. Have you ever used it before? If not, then let's first learn how to read a clinical thermometer. Observe this image carefully. This mercury thread inside the glass tube reflects the level of temperature. Now look at the scale. This Celsius scale is used to measure the body temperature. Yes, the human body temperature is expressed in terms of Celsius. You may note that Fahrenheit scale was used in earlier days for measuring the human body temperature. So how will you measure your body temperature with this? Let us see it step by step. First of all, make sure that the level of mercury is below 35 degrees Celsius, that is, the start point. Now place the bulb of the thermometer under your tongue for a minute. Now take out the thermometer and note the reading of the Celsius scale to know your body temperature. That's one of the ways to measure our body temperature. Did you know that 37 degrees Celsius is considered as the normal body temperature? Generally, the temperature of a human body is close to this reading and may not be exactly 37 degrees Celsius. Let me ask you a question here. Why is the scale of this thermometer limited to this range? Well, that's because the temperature of the human body normally does not go below 35 degrees Celsius or above 42 degrees Celsius. Let's note another important fact about the clinical thermometer. It's designed to measure the temperature of the human body only. You must be having a question here. How do we measure the temperature of other objects? Are there any different types of thermometers? Let's find the answer to these questions in our next lesson.